My name is Eric Torres. I'm a lieutenant in the New York City Fire Department, and I've got approximately 20 years of service on the department. Back in March of 2008, I was involved in a serious fire in a private dwelling. We were operating in an attic, and the floor of the attic collapsed, and I landed right on my left leg, falling into the second floor of the house, and I sustained a serious hip injury, dislocated my shoulder, a herniated disc in my back, and I was laid up in the hospital for a while. I tried to get back to full duty, and my hip injury was more severe than I thought, and it required me to have surgery. I had developed a really bad limp. I could no longer tolerate wearing all the gear that's required for being a firefighter. And after a few months, I could no longer tolerate it, and they told me that surgery was necessary to repair the cartilage that was damaged. So I went ahead with the surgery, and I was laid up in the hospital, and the doctors told me that I could probably forget about running ever again because I'd risk further damaging the hardware that was installed. So I had to find new ways of challenging myself. So I was going through rehab, and I just wasn't getting what I thought was going to be sufficient amount of work to try to get me back to full duty. Everything that was going through my mind was, is this the end of my career? Am I ever going to get back to any kind of physical shape to do firefighting again? I was just thinking of negative things at that point. Before the injury, I was a competitive marathoner. I did a few triathlons. I also, you did resistance training with body weight and stuff like that. I pretty much was very athletic, worked out almost every day. And then after my injury, the few months after, I was having trouble while I was going through rehab, gaining any kind of recovery until I started doing the Art of Strength way of training. Someone had gave me a book, and it mentioned kettlebells in the book. So I was very curious about kettlebells. I didn't know too much about them. So I actually was paging through the book, and there was an exercise called the Turkish get-up, which uses a lot of different muscles in the body, a lot of range of motions. So I went on the internet, and I was looking for someone to demonstrate how to do the Turkish get-up, and I came across the Art of Strength website, and Anthony's explaining the proper technique involved in doing it. So I immediately was hooked on his philosophies behind his teachings, and the Art of Strength method, and the tools they use. So I started exercising in this way, and it just made an immediate change in my flexibility, my strength level. I started getting back to the level I wanted to get back to full duty. And I just had a lot of success with the type of training that Art of Strength is about, and I haven't stopped doing it ever since. One of the things that happened after my injury is that the medical doctors at the fire department told me that I probably will never come back from the injury because no firefighter has ever come back from it. No firefighter or officer could manage the vigors of firefighting after having that type of surgery. So I presented myself to the doctors after I did all my rehab and started using the methods that I learned from Art of Strength, and they were astounded by the success I had and the strength that I was able to get back to, and the flexibility that I was able to get back to. It was probably about a year before I felt like I was at full strength. The first couple of months, like I mentioned, weren't going that well, and when I started using kettlebells and ropes and other Art of Strength training tools and applying their philosophies and their exercise methods, the recovery just started going a lot better. And I'd say within another 3 months after my initial rehab, which was 2 months, so after about 5 months from my injury, I was pretty much almost at full strength. But I continued using Art of Strength because of the success I had, and it's just a fun way and a challenging way to, get yourself into shape and stay that way. Aside from working as a firefighter for 20 years, I was always involved in fitness, doing training and group fitness, and a little bit of martial arts. And after my injury and after I started training, using the art of strength, tools and methods, I just became hooked, and the philosophy just makes so much sense behind it, and I just want to learn more about it and soak everything in and apply it to not only my workouts, but workouts that I help people with. It couldn't have been a better course. It was everything I imagined it would be, and more. Very happy I came, and look forward to participating further in the future.